Hey, thank you for clicking here. My name is Alex and I'm from Eastern Europe. I have to wake up in the middle of the night to watch NHL, and I do because it's the best hockey in the world. I'm here to discuss some interesting news and events of NHL with y'all and share my opinion. Also, you can share yours in the comments down below. I may stutter sometimes. I may use some words incorrectly because English is not my first language and I want to apologize for it. How this podcast will go. Every week we'll discuss 3 or 4 topics on news from the last week. And today's first topic is Calgary Flames. I'm a huge Flames fan. I watch every game of Flames, and this season I'm disappointed because, after last season, I thought that Flames finally may become a cup contender. But then those trades, Johnny leaves, and we got what we got. This season, Flames may not go into the playoffs, and that's really bad. That's really disappointing because last season we've won the division, Pacific Division. That was really great. The game was really great. But what changed? What changed? We have 2 different players in the team right now. I mean, last season we had Johnny and Matthew Kuch. This season we have Nazem Kadri and Jonathan Huberdeau. What changed? I don't know. Because, Kadri is a type of sharpshooter, he's a sniper, and he's not a playmaker. And Huberdeau is a playmaker. So, they fit well. But no, they do not fit well. And last season, Johnny and Matthew, they not as snipers, they not playmakers, they combined players. They can shoot, they can pass, they can do whatever you want. And in a line with Elias Lindholm, they did pretty well. They did very well because they 3 players from first line had more than 100 points. That's insane. And Elias Lindholm was in the top of a sniper race. So, as of right now, we have Toffoli in the first line, Elias Lindholm, and Jacob Pelletier. Jacob Pelletier is great. There's no doubt. He's a great youngster with handles. He can skate, he can shoot. But what happened to the team that was first in their division, second in their conference? What happened to this team if they play youngster in the first line? That kind of youngster. That's not Jason Robertson. That's not Kirill Kaprizov. That's Jacob Pelletier. He's great. He's really great. And I love to see him play because he gives emotions. He plays of full. He do his best. He does his best. But that's not enough for the first line. He was so great with Wranglers. He really did pretty well. Also, like Walker Duehr and Matthew Phillips. Duehr and Phillips played not so much this season, and in my opinion, Duehr was better than Phillips, because Phillips, I don't know, he's just mid. He's an average player for the 3rd or 4th line. But Jacob Pelletier is really good, but not for first line, First line, we have Toffoli, who's a sniper, who can't pass the puck. He just can shoot. He can do nothing else. Elias Lindholm, he's not a playmaker. He's not a passer. He's a shooter. He's a shooter as well as a Tyler Toffoli. And the third option, we have Jacob Pelletier, who is combined maybe, but he plays less than 1 season. We can't understand that right now. So we have in the first line 2 snipers and maybe combined player. So what are we expecting from them? When they score, they create some moments, but all they can do is shoot. There's no passers. Elias Lindholm is not a passer. He's a shooter, and that's the problem. He's a shooter as well as Tyler Toffoli. Okay, second line. Who do we have in that line? Andrew Mangiapane, great player. I love him so much. He is really great. And he's combined player as a Peltier, maybe, as a Peltier. And he's really good. I like him so much. We have Nazem Kadri. Kadri is a shooter, is a sniper, he's a finisher. And Jonathan Huberdeau. Huberdeau is a playmaker, he's a passer. And for logic, this line can work, this line should be working. But Huberdeau has worst season for last 8 years of his career. That's insane. I don't know what to say. Hubie is just not playing right. Nazem Kadri, whole lot of moments. He just can't score sometimes. I don't know. And Andrew Mangiapane, I think he's the best from that line. Okay, we won't look up for the bottom six because they do dirty job. I mean, they do defense, they do fighting along the boards and so on. So, the real question, will Flames make the playoffs this season? I hope so, because I'm the Flames fan. But, this week, what happened? Win against Stars. Amazing win against Stars, with Toffoli scoring like 5 seconds left and he scoring the game-winning goal. That was insane. Game against Wild, where Jacob Markstrom had first shootout this season. That was really great. Win by the shootout. And then lost to Ducks. 3-1, lost to Ducks. I just watched and cried. Because, that was maybe the worst game of the season. 2 goal moments, 2 good scoring opportunities for the whole game. And that's nothing when the opposite team scores 3 goals. 3 goals. And that's all. What's the problem of Flames? In my opinion, at the beginning of the season, the problem of Flames was goaltending. Because Jacob Markstrom playing really, really bad this season. That was really bad. But then Vladar stepped up in the net and showed some level. He did show some level. He played amazing. Now they have like Vladar 1 game, Marky 1 game, and that's like it. But now we can say that goaltending is the real problem, because Flames don't let a lot of goals, like 3, 2, maybe 4, but 4 is not a lot. 4 is not a lot. The real problem is scoring, because Toffoli, scorer, sniper, shooter, Lindholm, scorer, sniper, shooter. And if we look through the top 6, 2 lines that make real game, that make the result, we have only 1 playmaker, Jonathan Huberdeau, who just playing not so good this season. 2 combined players, I mean Mangiapane and Jacob Peltier, and 3 scorers, 3 shooters, Kadri, Lindholm, Toffoli. What's wrong with that? I don't see any balance. 1 playmaker for 6 players, and they not playing together. I mean, that's not so good. Where's the balance, Daryl Sutter? Where's the balance? And maybe that's not a problem. Okay, maybe I'm not so smart to understand that. But tell me why Jonathan Huberdeau not playing in a power play last games. I don't know. He's a playmaker. We have no playmakers besides him. That's really bad. Because only 1 playmaker for the whole team. I mean, Kadri can be as a playmaker. Dylan Dubé, he's a great player. I love Dylan Dubé so much. But he played last 20 games in the first line as a left wing with Toffoli and Lindholm. Then one day, suddenly, he got sent to the 4th line with Lucic and Lewis. What happened? What really happened? I do not understand that, because he's a great player. He's not a bottom 6 player. He can't fight for the puck on the boards. He need open eyes to make some goals. That's bad quality, I know, but he needs to be in the 1st or 2nd line. Either he can't play, in my honest opinion. So, return to the question, what's the problem? That's not goaltending. That's maybe attackers because on the one playmaker. But let's look through the defense. Let's look through the defense. Rasmus Andersson, he's great. I can't say anything bad about him. Noah Hannafin, I like this guy so much, and there's no doubt. Then we have Nikita Zadorov. He is one of my favorite NHLers because, he's really good. He's tough. He can hit, he can shoot, he can pass, he can do whatever you want. But sometimes he cannot be a defender. That's the fact. Because, sometimes when you watch Zadorov play and you just look how he do that, your eyes will burn. That's the fact. But he's great. He's a great player. Who do we got else? Michael Stone, great player, great slap shot, best slap shot in the NHL. Mark my words. Michael Stone has best slap shot in the NHL. All right. And who do we got next? Who? Mackenzie Weegar. Mackenzie Weegar was the part of the Matthew Tkachuk trade, and I think that we were robbed. Flames were robbed with that because Mackenzie Weegar is the most shittiest defenseman I've ever watched playing for the Flames. Even Nikita Nesterov played better than Mackenzie Weegar. That's fact. I can say some stats of Weegar. I can say his minus or plus stat, but you know how he do that? How he plays that's insane. Because sometimes you just think how this guy ended up in the NHL. He's not that bad, maybe, but I remember him doing great defensive plays. I don't remember them. For real, I don't remember him doing great defensive plays. It's always some mistakes. It's always some bad passes in the neutral zone, in the offensive zone that led to the goal. And the question is, why is he still playing? Why? Okay, who do we got next? Dennis Gilbert. Dennis Gilbert is a youngster. He played for Wranglers this season. And then when Sutter realized that Mackenzie Weegar, Oliver Shillington will not play this season, he called Dennis Gilbert. He played not for so long, but he's good. And at the deadline, we had Troy Stetcher. I don't know what to say about him because he played only 3 or 4 games after the trade, and that's not the time that we should speak about player. So, what's the problem then? And I can say you what's the problem. I have some good stat, not good stat, I should say. Flames set up the record for 19 losses when outshooting an opponent by 10 or more. That's typical Daryl Sutter hockey. That's real. His goal for the game is to shoot. It's not to score, it's to shoot. Like Jay Woodcroft said, that Flames will shoot from everywhere just to shoot. And that's the fact. That's the real fact, because sometimes you see Toffoli shooting from the position like behind the net. What are you doing, Tyler? There's no any particular reason for you to doing that. But he still does it. He still does it. And the problem is not in the coach. That's real. Daryl Sutter is an amazing coach, and last season we've been proved in that. But sometimes maybe he needs to look at his problem's face. Because that's the real problem. Also, Jonathan Huberdeau, who can't shoot a puck, for real, that's not a joke. He just can't shoot a puck. I don't know what happened to him. He's a playmaker. I understand that. But when he's standing in front of the net in overtime, all alone, there's no other players in that place, and he trying to do the pass, and this overtime that I'm talking about, Flames lost. Yeah, that's not surprising. So what is the Flames' problem? The Flames' problem is the tactics for the game, in my opinion, because Flames may have only 3 or 4 real goal opportunities, the big moments for the whole game. 3 or 4. But you can say Flames shoot like 30, 40 times a game. I say you more. They may shoot 50 or maybe 60 times a game. But those shots, they just spam those shots from the nowhere. And they are not danger. That's the problem. Flames need to create high danger moments in front of the net. Not just shooting puck from the blue line just in the stomach of the goalie. I catch myself thinking sometime, why every average goalie in the NHL looking like prime Hasek against the Flames? And I understood that. And I'll tell you why. Because, when you're the goalie and at the start of the game, you just, for example, at the 0 level confidence, then you saved 1 shot, 2 shots, 3 shots, 4 shots. Those shots were not danger, but you saved them, and your level of confidence going up and up. Then this goalie just makes an incredible save, and from the first high danger opportunity of the Flames, like in the second period, and his confidence level going to the sky, and that's all. Yeah, that's the problem. And also I should say that power play doesn't work in all season. I don't know why. I don't know what power play coach does for the whole season. And in my opinion, yes, that's the problem of the Flames. The problem is they can't score from the low danger shots, and they can't create high danger shots. That's the real problem. And the power play, because there are a lot of chances. And so, the final verdict about the Flames: will they make a playoffs or not? As I said, I hope so, but I think they won't. I think they won't make playoffs. Why? Because, with that kind of game, we'll lose in the playoffs to the Knights in 4, for real. There's no way. Because we played Knights this season and we lost to them once and win once. But, we have to play very weak opponents like Senators, Coyotes, Ducks, Knights. Knights is not weak, but Knights, they're not so strong. And what next? If we lose to Ducks while winning Maple Leafs, Wild, Stars, what do we expect? If we're losing to Ducks, I don't know. So I want Flames to make playoffs, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't really think that's gonna happen. So the second topic is Boston Bruins. Why? Because tonight Boston clinched the playoffs. The first team that went to the playoffs is Bruins, and they broke the NHL record for 50 wins in a season. They did it faster way than any team ever. 64 games, 50 wins. That's insane. I just watch Bruins and I think like, who can stop them? And that's the topic. Will the Bruins win the Stanley Cup? Because as of right now, Bruins looking the most contender team of all of the teams. You can say there are Rangers. Okay, Rangers with Kane, Panarin, Zibanejad, but what? And like the Bruins have Pasta, Krejci, Marchand, Bergeron, Bertuzzi. That Bertuzzi trade is incredible. Really, I was shocked because Tyler Bertuzzi, in my opinion, is the guy who'll help them. But at first, we should say that not every team that wins President's Trophy wins Stanley Cup. That's the fact. In my opinion, Boston Bruins have a big chance to go to the final because I don't see any team in their conference stop them. Rangers, but in my opinion, Bruins have better chemistry. What is the key to be successful in the playoffs? Great goalie, great experienced players, playoff experienced players, and great youngsters. If we look through the Bruins squad, who do we have? For the first rule, for the first key, Linus Ullmark, great goalie, there's no doubt. But what happens if Linus got injured? There's Jeremy Swayman. Jeremy Swayman is great goalie as well. Experienced players. Bergeron, even Marchand is experienced player. Krejci. So we have 2 keys of 3. And then the third, great youngsters. Pasta, I don't think we count him as a youngster, but for me he's a youngster. Pasta, Bertuzzi, whole lot of defenders. So for those rules, for those keys, Boston will make the playoffs. Yeah, will win the cup. They have already made the playoffs. But will they really? Will they? Who can stop them from their conference and from the another? I can say that they will make the final. There is no doubt for me that they will make the final. But who will they face in the finals? That's the real question. I hope the team will be Flames, but if we look at the teams, who can they face in the finals? I have no team that can beat them as of right now. But the playoffs is in another universe, because that's not the regular season. That's another type of hockey. And I should say that yes, Bruins will win the Stanley Cup this season. I hope that they will get some fight in the finals, in the semifinals of their conference. But as of right now, I don't see any team that can beat them, because Bruins are so strong, and they have every line balanced, every line strong, great. And what an opposite team can offer to them. For example, the strongest teams in the other conference, Knights. What Knights can offer them? Johnson Quick in the net? Okay, thank you. What can offer the Knights? I mean, great attackers, yes, but they have not Smith, and that's the problem. Who? Jake Eichel? He has no experience in playoffs. Also, one hot take. Knights will lose in the first round, mark my words, but we talk about the Bruins. I don't see any opportunity that Bruins will flop these playoffs. I don't know why. And in my opinion, yeah, Boston will win the Stanley Cup because there's just no other teams. I mean, they are the real power. And they going through the whole regular season with wins, and wins. They had no losses series. I mean, 4 losses in a row. Did they have that? I don't think so. I remember 3, but I don't remember 4. And yes, the answer is yes. Bruins will make the playoffs. So, on the third topic is Connor McDavid. Why? Because Connor McDavid tonight broke Kuch's record for the points. Kuch in 2018 set the points mark of 127 points in regular season. And tonight, Connor McDavid, playing 67 games, repeated that record. He tied it. He tied that record with 127 points in 67 games. That's insane. That's really insane. If we speak about the stats of them, primary assists, Kuch 52, Connor 48. Penalty minutes drawn, McDavid 70, Kucherov 48. That's the most important stats in my opinion. Goals per 60 minutes, McDavid 2.2, Kuch 1.5. Shooting percentage, McDavid 18.7%, Kuch 60.7%. And that's the stat that make me thinking about their compairing. On ice goal difference, McDavid plus 70, that's insane. And now Kuch in 2018 plus 84. That's the case stat. Remember that. We'll return to it. That's the case stat. So the question is, who's better? 2018 Kuch in regular season, 2018 Kuch, or 2023 McDavid? In my opinion, the best player of two is Nikita Kucherov of 2018. Why? Tampa, the Lightning, that season, were first in their conference. Can you imagine the team with two players? I mean, besides McDavid, Oilers have Leon Draisaitl that also has amazing amount of points. Can you imagine the team with two players that have more than 100 points being not at the top of the league? Can you imagine that? And we have the example of it. We have the Oilers. What's the problem of McDavid, in my opinion? In my opinion, McDavid is so selfish. He's so selfish. Because if you look at him, you may say, oh, that's because McDavid owns the Flames. No, he's not an owner of the Flames. Calm down. I mean, Connor McDavid is a selfish, and he's skating around the ring, just thinking about making a highlight goal, making some highlight pass. He spammed those shots, he spammed those passes, not in big games. Last playoff, you can say to me, last playoff, McDavid kick off the Flames. But no, the key player of that series was Zach Hyman. That's the truth. The key player was Zach Hyman. And what's the problem of McDavid right now? In my opinion, Connor McDavid will flop in the playoffs. Why? He's not a playoff type of player. Like, he spammed those shots. He needs an open eyes. And you can say, oh, watch the Rangers, the goal against Rangers, watch the goal against Bruins, and what? Yeah, he was surrounded, yeah, but that's only one or two highlight goals, and that's what I'm talking about. He won't do highlight goals. The key thing in that is if Connor McDavid, with his stats, with his talent, would play for the team. Hockey is a team game. If he would play for the team, the Oilers would be first in the whole league. He has the vision. He has an insane shot. He has an insane handles. He has an insane passes. But he's playing selfish. Leon Draisaitl is better in that aspect. But Leon Draisaitl is not a key for the Oilers to win in the cup. And remember the stat of on-ice goal difference. Kuch, 84, plus 84. McDavid, plus 70. You can say the season is not over, McDavid has to play more than 15 games. Okay, whatsoever. I mean, Connor McDavid is really good, and there is no doubt in it. He's not the best player in NHL right now. Even right now. And we compare him to the best player of 2018 Kuch. I don't really think about that. Because, in my opinion, the best player of the league right now is David Pastrnak. Because I watched him play, I watched McDavid play, and I don't think that McDavid really impressed me. Yeah, he has some speed. That's why he playing that good. But, Cups winning not for the speed. Not by the speed. For me, McDavid will not win the cup in the Oilers, and if he will continue to play like that in any other club, in any other team, he will not win the cup in any other team. Also, there were some whispers about McDavid's trade from Oilers. Yeah, that's insane. The whispers were like, if McDavid won't win the cup this season with the Oilers, he will ask for a trade. Now, just imagine the situation. McDavid asking for a trade. McDavid is a world-class player. The league thinking that he's the best. That's also the key thought. Because every time I watch McDavid play, every touch for him, every touch to him, every hit on him, that's the penalty. And that's so bad. And a whole lot of managers, whole lot of players thinking that McDavid is the best player in the league. So, how do you think, what cost will it be for trading McDavid? Just imagine. Like, for example, maybe Senators will want to try to trade for McDavid, what will happen? Stutzle, Batterson, Tkachuk, Norris, maybe 4 players for one McDavid and some picks maybe. Oilers need some good players and they won't trade McDavid for a piece of shit. That's obvious. And they'll ask for 3 or 5 attackers. They'll ask for a lot of players. That's real, that's fact. And what do we have? We have no team that can handle it. Like, I mean, his salary, just imagine, Maple Leafs with their salary caps problem will try to trade for McDavid. There's no way. And in my opinion, McDavid is stuck in the Oilers because no one can afford them. No one can afford him because of the price of him. He made the price, and that's the real problem, because Connor McDavid, one of the best players in the league right now, and imagine someone trying to trade for Ovechkin. That's the same thing. Imagine what cost will Caps ask for the Ovi. That's insane. Just imagine. I don't want McDavid to be traded to the Flames. That's obvious. And I don't really think... the only team that can afford him is Coyotes. That's fact. But they have no players to give to the Oilers. That's all. And the question is, who's better, Kuch 2018 or McDavid? Answer is Kuch. Will McDavid win the Stanley Cup ever? In my opinion, no. Because he's stuck in the Oilers, and Oilers won't win the cup. That's my opinion. I'm sorry if I heard something with that. So, for today it's over. I want to thank you for listening. Here is soon, guys.